So I'm just going to come out and say it. It's funny how hypocritical people are, period. Somehow, it's someone else's responsibility to take care of your own health and hygiene. What am I getting at? Well, first of all, if you're going to comment below, I hope you watch the whole video. Because it's real easy to take a high and mighty stance and blame somebody else, but in all essence, we're all responsible for our own outcomes. Yes, factors can play into that, but essentially you are the absolute only person in control of your personal hygiene, what you do, what risks you take, what risks you don't take. It's not someone else's responsibility to do that. Side note, I lied. I drive one-handed anyway, but that's not the point. So, I'm reading all these comments on social media about people exercising their constitutional rights to protest. Whether you like it or not, that's their right, period. Just as much it's quote-unquote your right to not get sick. Here's the thing. 6 months ago, before we heard about COVID-19, if you were in a disgustingly germ-filled environment, did you bitch about everybody who was there, leaving it nasty? I don't think so. What you did was you washed your hands a little bit extra, you were careful about what you touched, and then you went home and took a shower, washed your clothes, or whatever you had to do to mitigate the circumstances. It wasn't anyone else's problem but your own. A pair of ice skates on the side of the road, that's weird. So, now all of a sudden, oh my God, people, stay home and wash your damn hands. Okay, the only valid point in that is wash your hands. However, you should probably look in a mirror when you make that statement. Because regardless whether somebody attended a protest rally or went out on their own accord, when you go to the grocery store, you don't know who has been exposed, who hasn't been exposed, who's asymptomatic, who went where. You don't know. So what do? You wear a mask, you take preventative measures to make sure you don't get the crud, that's on you. It doesn't matter where people go. It doesn't matter what they do. It's up to you to protect yourself. So if you have immunocompromised family members or friends living in your residence, maybe you should practice good hygiene so you don't bring it to them. It's not up to Joe Smith, who went to the rally, to worry about what goes on in your home. Nor is it your responsibility to worry about what goes on in John Smith's world. Okay? Some of this might be hard for you guys to swallow, but at the end of the day, only you can be sure of what precautions have been taken to protect you. Quit making this about someone else. All you're doing is pissing yourself off more. All you're doing is stressing yourself out. And what does stress do? Good question. Stress breaks down your immune system. Whether you want to believe it or not, it does. Feel free to research it. Google it. Call a doctor's office. They'll tell you. Why do you think there's anxiety medicine? Why do you think there is other things you can do to mitigate stress? Why do you think stress is such a big topic in the medical world? Because it affects you, both mentally and physically. So quit driving yourself insane. Okay? Now, for anybody who wants to comment, oh, easy for you to say, damn straight it's easy for me to say. I work at Ground Zero in a hospital. I'm not going to tell you which one because my views may not necessarily reflect the views of the hospital, and I respect that. I'm not going to bring them into this. This is solely my opinion. And there's a lot of valid points here. And if you refuse to see that, not going to piss me off, but you need to hear it. You're not always right. Hell, I'm not even always right. But I can tell you this. To neglect or refuse to see and or understand an opposing point of view, regardless whether you agree with it or not, makes you a huge part of the problem. So at the end of the day, do what you can do. Period. Wash your hands, wear a mask, practice good hygiene, and limit where you go to limit your exposure to this virus. It's no one else's issue but your own, period. Now, you want further explanation? How many of you out there would go to a highly riddled crime area in the middle of the night and walk your dog or walk your kids or just take a free stroll? Probably no one. Why? Because you know you're putting yourself at risk. Do you complain, hey, residents here, you should stop committing crimes? Yeah, I think we all agree that people shouldn't be doing that. But what do? We take precautions for ourselves. Why? Because we're the only ones who can protect ourselves. It really is that simple. I don't know what to tell you. If you can't understand that, well then, stay at home, shelter in place. It's your right. Matter of fact, you're the only one who can make you stay at home. I don't necessarily condone or not condone people going out and doing their own thing. What I can tell you is, a lot of you people listening who think people need to stay at home and are exploding internally in their own minds that people just not listening to the stay-at-home order are probably smokers, and you don't give two craps about anybody sucking in your secondhand smoke. When I was a smoker, I didn't. But the bottom line is this: you do you. That's okay, but all of a sudden, now that there's a virus involved, it's different, the dynamics are different. That's hypocritical, and that makes you a piece of garbage if that's the way you think. Again, these are my opinions. If you don't like it, that's fine. Oh, I'm sure someone's going to say, gee, Pete, you're going to lose friends over this. No, I'm not. How do I know this? Because if you're a true friend, you'll respect my point of view. You don't have to agree with it, but if you're a true friend, we'll be friends when the video's over. And if you choose to delete me on social media, boo-hoo, that's one less happy birthday I got to send out there first thing in the morning. I really don't care. I'm in charge of my own destiny. I have a beautiful wife, I have awesome children, awesome grandkids, and I have some pretty damn awesome friends. And they all know what I'm about. I am not going to sugarcoat anything so that your vagina doesn't fall out. Yeah, that might have been a harsh statement. My true friends will laugh at that. But at the end of the day, you don't put yourself in harm's way because you know better. So why is this any different? Food for thought. Feel free to share this. I care, people. You're destroying yourselves over something you can't control. Do what you can to protect you. Leave others out of it. It's your destiny, not theirs. Have a good day, Facebook.